Welcome CSC 102 class, or anyone looking to do a research paper using Microsoft Word 2016 for the Mac version. And I'm just going to go over just some of the steps real quickly. I'm not going to do the whole assignment or anything like that we do for this assignment, but just want to show you some of the differences for the Mac version. Now, first of all, I'll just go back to my Home tab in Word. If you go to References, and that's the same place you do it on the Windows version, they don't call them sources, they call them citations. So you have to click on Citations to open up the Citations panel. Now this is a finished version and it has three sources here. They call them citations. I'm not sure why. I kind of see these as sources or references, but the Mac version calls these citations. I think citations are when they're in the paper themselves, but whatever. They call them citations, so that's what we'll call them for the Mac version. Now, if you want to go in here, and you can either create a new source or citation in here from these that are already here. So if I could either hit this plus button and kind of add a citation and create one here. Now, one thing that's probably a little better, I think, is to go down here, this little kind of options drop down here, and go to Citation Manager, because it shows a master list and current list, and that way you could kind of choose one or the other. So I'm going to go to current list, and I'm going to create a new one. And I'll just make something just real quick. I'll use myself. I'll say Homa Richard, and it shows you examples down here on how to do it. Last name first, middle names. If there's more than one name, you put a semicolon in the middle, and I'll just put W, like that's, even though that's not my middle name, I'll just put a W there. And I'll put name of web page, and I'll put using, and for year, I'll put 2018. Month, I'll say I posted in February or something, and there's no day. Now we're accessing it today, because typically that's when you're accessing things. So I'll put year access, I'll put 2018, I'll put month, I'll put today, I'll put the 5th, I'll do show all bibliography fields just to see if I miss anything. Website, I'm just going to put YouTube just as a website, and for URL I'll just put http home at wccc. And I wouldn't need anything else in here. I have my URL, I have dates, I have pretty much everything I need for MLA, and this does say MLA because I had it set up there. And I'll hit OK, and I'll close it, and you can see it now. It's added to my citation list. If I want to put it in somewhere, basically the way I would do it is I'd find my spot. Here's in between a quote and in between a period, and you basically just double click on here. You double click on it and it'll insert it in, and you can see it's actually a citation that you can edit, and just as you would in the Windows version. If you needed to delete it, you could just click on this left thing and just hit delete. So you double click and you're like, oh, it's the wrong one. I needed the DY. I needed Bolt there or something. You can go up here and just click on Bolt and put him in there. So again, you could always go here to edit these. You could edit the original source, or you could open up the source editor, and if you needed to edit one, you could go here and just click on edit. So if you spelled something wrong, oh, my middle name is T, I forgot, and you hit OK. And then you could update things. So that's kind of inserting sources. So again, you have to click your cursor in here somewhere, wherever it is. I'll just go here, and then basically I'll put Liza Brown in here, and then double click, and it inserts the citation into the page. Now at the end, I think there already is something on this one. I'm just going to do it right here. I think somebody also already had one in here, and I'm just going to delete it. I'll delete everything that's here, and I'll insert a page break. And on the Mac, you could go insert break, page break, and just get to the next page. Now I'm going to put a bibliography in here, and to do that I'm going to go to bibliography, and I typically recommend using Works Cited, and you have to edit either one of them, so it doesn't matter. So I'm going to go to Works Cited, and I'm going to highlight this because it's not formatted correctly, and I'll go to my Home tab, and just remember you have to format everything so it's Times New Roman, and I should type in Times. Make sure everything's 12 point. Make sure everything's black or automatic. Make sure nothing's bold, so I'll turn bold on and off. So nothing's black. You could leave the things that are italic because they should be. And also, we need things double spaced, so you could use this button here. Remember, there's no kind of formatting button on the Mac version, so I'll go here and just choose double spacing. And the last thing I'll do is center this Works Cited, because that should be centered. And everything else has the hanging indent already, so that's okay. So that's about all the tools you need to know for the Mac version. This is the 2016 Mac version of Microsoft Office, Microsoft Word. So just want to point that out. It's a little different than older versions. I think I had a video with older versions 08 and 2011. So this is the 2016 version. So just remember that you create citations or sources by hitting this plus button. I recommend doing it over here and going right into the Source Manager, or they even call it Citation Source Manager. And then you basically, to insert a citation in the page, or a reference, whatever you want to call it, if you click here, you just double click and it creates it and it adds it into the page. And then you would just do the same way you do on Windows to add the bibliography at the end. And you just have to format it correctly so that you remove any coloring, any boldness, make sure it's in the right font, and then make sure it's double spaced and make sure this is centered at the top. So that's doing your research paper tools with Word 2016, the Mac version.